I've become, boy, I'm out here when it got, look how my face and my body got different tones. Because my face may be getting more exposed, but I'm all, hey, man, y'all better get that shit while you can. Give gratitude to the source, to the creator, the most high, ancestors known and unknown, for the highest good of all, to the harm of none. But anywho, if the ancestors gotta make it do what it do, they gonna make it do what they do. Anywho, move forward. I'm sitting here reflecting, deep reflecting. I may have spoken about this, but I'm gonna elaborate a little bit more on how one of my biggest things to overcome and still, but I mastered a lot of it, for sure. That lustful spirit, I feel like majority of a lot of men go through that shit. When you really think about building something, structure, you're building towards your empire, whatever it is, it's very vital. Because it's like, it's not even so much about the right or wrong woman. It's also about her intentions and also where she is within her mental space, her emotional space, spiritual space, basically her overall well-being. Because, as I told y'all before, when you think about the foundations of humanity, when you reflect on why so many people, when it comes to how they describe poverty, lower level stuff, and so forth, you cannot overlook the fact of behavior problems, learned behavior problems. Meaning, like, I see so many things so clearly when I go places and so forth, because I just recognize the energy and the spirit. Just some of these kids being exposed to lust so early, and they operate through it. I was telling someone the other day, like, I was at the park, and I know these girls are teenagers, and I know people might say, oh, this is harmless and so forth. No, it, again, what can be okay to someone, excuse the wind, could be disgusting or just not okay for somebody else. But they had made a comment, was like, ooh, that man's so fine, or something like that. And I'm like, those who know, like, when you're at a space, like, kids gonna be kids, but just how natural for them to just say things and even think it's okay to a grown man or just to someone. That's the troubling thing about it. And also, I had to pause that because I didn't want any music in the background to be flagged, this video, but anywho, moving forward. It's just things like that I realized when I was young. If you've been watching me on my journey, one of the biggest things I had to overcome was that lustful spirit. I was even meeting men. It's wild how I come across the path of certain people, and they were like, yeah, they got eight kids. One of them said 18. And I started to look at their progression. I started to see where they are, not just mentally, but where they are as far as like how they view life. Is there any joy around it when they say they have this many kids? And a lot of it isn't. Because that lustful spirit, for a lot of them, they either still are unaware, or they ignore it, or they don't care to address it. Because one of the greatest things, even I'm in the process of doing now, is still navigating through that shit. Because let me tell you something. When you let your Lord nature rule you, and it's funny because I believe the moon is in Scorpio, so for me to talk about this is just so fucking on point. Because I had to find a way to redirect what's going on right now. The sun is beaming. But other than that, again, the awareness around like lust in itself, how I tell you all the time, the powers that used to be, or just certain things, structures in place. I can just use this chair. You know, made sure, or it was, when you think about a lot of structures in place, and when you think about demographically speaking, a lot of things, demographically speaking and so forth, but it just, I don't know, I got these on, I always do that. It makes so much sense now how and why you don't see a lot of men progressing, because they're riddled with that spirit. And then when you have women who aren't aware of the importance of this, then you don't really have each other supporting each other, knowing the importance of, trying to fix it, bite. The importance of this. God, bro, it's so motherfucking high. They don't know the importance of this. And again, if anybody looks at my progression in my life, one of the biggest things I have had to overcome is the spirit of lust. And that doesn't mean it go away. That doesn't mean it stops. Because there's discipline in everything. That doesn't mean it stops. Come on, I know this got to be it this time. Like, it doesn't stop. It doesn't go away. Because when you think about, I'm just using my experience. Like when you think about the terms, the conditions of a lot of things, I'm telling you, that's one of the biggest things people battle with. Because even when they get money, you still got to have discipline even when you grow and expand, because you got to protect yourself spiritually. That's what it's about for me. It's like really getting to a place, but you really got to still protect yourself mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And with that, through my experience, even with women in itself, and then even recognizing their patterns, you know, that was one of the biggest things that I realized even they battle with, especially if they were dealt with any type of sexual abuse. You're naturally going to have a lustful spirit. Okay, this is a whole lot better. And that's what's not really talked about a lot. People don't realize, like, it's vital. When you think about exposure to porn, when you think about exposure to a lot of stuff, you're opening yourself up to that. You're feeding yourself these things. You're curious about it as a child. And I realized, like, even when you learn about, like, the sacral, solar plexus, and root chakra, a lot of these creativity, a lot of this sacred energy, or just a lot of these energies in itself come from that very place, like the root chakra. So when I thought about survival, when I thought about the mother wound and all that stuff, a lot of stuff I used to actually believe that, like, because of the belief system I developed, that having sex with a woman would keep this relationship. Then now here you are having a baby. Oh my God, this thing. Now when you have children, you know, a lot of these things aren't discussed. This shit is so rusted, bruh. I'm talking about, you know, half the chain good, but yeah. Anywho, but it's come on, Russ, fall off. So yeah, God, this thing is so rusty. And again, if you haven't grew up with a foundation, and that's what really had kept a lot of people, when you think about indigenous people, a lot of people, they lost sight of the discipline in that. And the men have lost sight. That's all that is. Men have lost sight. Because you think those spirits ain't operating through people just so they could attach themselves to you? Like I said, for me, one of the biggest things was, God, it's right here. One of the biggest things for me, and I see it with the women in my family too. Like I told you, one thing I had to learn was I saw the spirit. I saw the spirit naturally running rapid in my family. When you think about sexual abuse and all that stuff, man, that's a lustful spirit, bro. Because we see how people just keep having kids. No, not, and it ain't even just, it's the energy how they have it. It's like, it's still coming from a place of survival because, you know, people just thinking you just having sex. No, it's bigger than that. And when you're not taught that, because the reward, again, is the child, but, you know, some people just trying to get off, they're just thinking like, oh, this is just a normal, no, this is bigger than that. Come on, chain. So it's bigger than that. But when we're not taught that, rings from the house all over. But when we're not taught that, again, that's been one thing that has been, I've been using this word a lot, plaguing a lot of progression. And it's so vital for men because when you do and when you have a vision, that's a part of the you being protected. It's because it's so vital to women in your life. It's so vital, man. Especially shit I know I've been going through the karmic lessons and stuff that I needed to experience. Don't I have a, dang, I think it's in the fucking car. God, I just need to get this motherfucker to be in one time, cuz. But yeah, that shit ain't no joke, like. And it's funny because, again, I just know personally men in my family who continue to have kids. But you know what's so wild? They don't have no house. And this is not to say someone's better. No, it just shows you priority. And again, this shit is based off like stability, root chakra. I had to go through these things to realize like a lot of this stuff really is about stabilization. When you look at people who have kids, who have a home, who certain things, then on an energetic level, how much the world has tried to put everybody, or mostly when you see certain demographics, like to continue to go through a pattern. A lot of this stuff has to change because when it comes to things being abundant, a lot of things, mindset has to change, and a lot of it has to happen through, us. God, this motherfucker got so much rust. Come on, do your big one, come on. If I could just get this link to Ben, oh my God, it's working for a lot of stuff though. God, it's a whole lot better than what it was. This is a whole lot better than what it was. Gosh, boy, this body was so rusted. So rusted. But and it still takes discipline because you can still fall prey to women, no matter what they look like. It's also the energy that they hold too. When you see, like, and people don't know, like, when you on a mission and a journey, you think the spirit or like people don't know what can be, what, you know, when you're here to learn lessons, not to enjoy your life, but when you're here to learn lessons and stuff, like, that's important. Because that's the thing about being a cycle breaker. I wouldn't ever want my son to live with something that keeps him preventing. I would want him to actually be ready and see the discipline on restraining, you know, just the sacredness in it. You don't hear that talked about at all from a lot of people because they would literally encourage their kids, encourage their sons. Like, it was wild. I forgot who it was. It was somebody encouraging, like, literally finna encourage their son to go out there and get you know, hit top. You know, those who know. And I'm like, what? People don't realize, like, it shows you what their priority is. Like, you really don't care about. A lot of us are restabilizing and stuff, like the importance of those things. You don't care about what your son do and so forth. And the reason I say that is because I see the importance of how it affected me not having no discipline in that, not knowing how to keep it in my pants. Even at times, like, I didn't know what an STD was, and then getting one. Pretty sure at the time, didn't even realize I was spreading it. You know, nobody be telling you about stuff, sexual traumas you go through, and then, God, this thing is so freaking rusted, bro. So, nobody be telling you about this. I threw that towel away. I probably need to go get it. And the reason I say that's why it's so vital, because I would want my son to know the importance of that. And my daughter. You know, when you really see the bigger picture or start to become very aware of stuff, you wouldn't want your children to go through what you're going through. And if you had the opportunity to plant a seed, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? I still see a lot of people living through the same thing. And before they take any accountability, they just, gosh, this change is, man. I don't even know what else to put on here. I got WD-40 to everything. I'm getting a whole lot better. Good Lord. Better than what it was. Yeah, so it's like when you think about being a cycle breaker and stuff, you would want your kids to know, like, I don't hide the stuff I went through. You know what I'm saying? I would actually, I let my they know anyway, like, they pick up on stuff. But you should want your kids to know, like, the importance of why you're, and a part of being away from people, why you don't deal with family and stuff has a lot to do with that too. Like, why you don't be around people, why you don't experience things, why we don't go around him. Because a part of me not going around them, baby, is because we breaking cycles around here. We breaking cycles. We not breaking chains. Yeah, we breaking chains, but oh shit, I almost sprayed myself in the eye. Boy, I ain't never in my life seen so much rust. It's not even a whole chain. This is, if I can get these, I gotta get a screwdriver. If I can just get these to bend right there. Shit is dripping everywhere. But yeah, lust, man, for you young men out there, it's still men too. They encouraging you to go out there and do this and do that, bro. That ain't what it is, bro. Nah, if you really want to build something, it's gonna take discipline. Everybody encourage y'all to, build up money, do this and do that, bro. They're not expressing to you the importance of, like, it's bigger than building money, dog. It's bigger than building money, bro. I'll tell you that now. It's bigger than building money. Because you got to have discipline through that. It ain't about the jealous and envy. It's also about the lustful spirits too, who want to get in. It's a lot that come with that shit. That's why you hear me speak about spiritual warfare. There's a lot that come with that. It ain't just, this is it. No, it's a lot that come with that. Okay, we making some progress now. That one will need movement a minute ago. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. Same thing with women too. You got men that they just lustful as fuck, gin, spirit, they just lustful, they don't got nothing else to offer. And you know a lot of women be talking about that shit. Hold on, I gotta go get a towel. But you got women. I'm gonna keep you no butt from you. Your daddy never told you. I'm here to tell you from a father who has a daughter. A lot of these dudes got lustful spirit. And that same spirit on your ass keep having a baby bound. That's a spirit attachment. Nothing stable. Because at a point in time, I know for myself, when you want to build something and you got a vision for real, man, you're going to make that shit happen. You're going to see the importance of people being removed. You're going to learn how to not take it personal. You're gonna start looking at stuff as business and transactional. Shawty only want me for this. Nope, I'm good. I don't have people recently. They don't care if you got kids or not. They don't care about none of that shit. People want to see, they want to see what you're doing with your life. They want to see how can they be a part of it. They want to contribute. No, sometimes people have spirits, things attached to them. And then certain things they want to pull you right back into their shit. Yeah, man, that shit real. It's real, man. It's if you're gonna live a prosperous life, you gotta go through them things like you feel like you don't want to go through. Oh, that's a part of it. You can't skip over it. Like I said, one of my biggest lessons was that right there. That's just one more part. This right here, these links right here. I'ma get you. I'm gonna get you. One thing about me, when I'm focused on this shit, I'm gonna make this shit happen. This motherfucker is so rusted. But yeah. I know I'm making progress because it wasn't even turning a while back. But yeah. I'm gonna let you know. It don't matter your career, your status, and so forth. When you see the collective energy in the old world narrative again, how a lot of stuff was based on attacking the lower chakra anyway, or the lower chakras, because it keeps people from progressing. It keeps people from building and actually expanding on their stability. Sometimes they don't even recognize it in survival. And when you think about it collectively, everybody has been affected or will be affected. People just going out there having kids, but not being responsible. You naturally put your kids in survival. I'm being real with you, naturally put them in a state of survival. Because it's spiritual, it's emotional, it's so many different things connected to it. So like I said, as a cycle breaker, man, I'm honored to speak that if it's meant in her lifetime I live, to see a man who loved himself, who have navigated through certain things. Because breaking cycles is also healing past and present. So it's like back and forth. So for me, yeah, I'm real when I say I wouldn't want, man, what? If I have this awareness and discernment, I know my kids have it too. I know they got gifts too, so why would I want my son? That's what I feel like we would have normally if you did have a parent. It's good that you had somebody who would warn you about certain men and women or certain boys and girls. What? I see some people out here, and I can see how I know they having sex young. I don't want my kids engaged in it or thinking like something like that. It's something you got to grow into. A lot of us had to be responsible and expose this stuff early. That's what made us responsible and irresponsible. Irresponsible for our spiritual well-being, but responsible for other things that we didn't even need to take on. Come on, Shannon. So, I'm trying to think, do I got this thing in here? Like I said, I know for me though, the depths of how that spirit has played my lineage. Like for real. Seeing people just do stuff out of lust, but then take no responsibility for what they created. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's I won't be sharing that with people, like thinking like responsibility don't come with that. It does. It really does. That's how strong one of the links is. Like, I'm telling y'all, that's how arrested it is. I'm not giving up. But yeah, luck, bro. But then I started to realize a lot of the upside to it as well with dealing with a lot of things, because the energy changes. You don't have to be around people. You start seeing stuff you didn't want to see. That's why a lot of them go into certain patterns and they don't realize how important it is to break it. Come on. Yeah, but as learning to be the observer and realizing too, in certain connections, you can be the one to break that cycle as men and women, because some people, when I say they don't want to change, you'll realize how draining it is. Because I'm like, bro, sex ain't even on my mind right now. I'm so focused on trying to build some shit and create. Focus on stability, get my mental straight. And then again, you can have somebody right there at war with themselves because they feel they'll take it personal. Why you not? What's going on? You know, an insecure person, they're not secure within themselves. They won't be able to see past the fact of you actually building something, or you doing it for the betterment of your well-being. They won't be able to see it that way. They'll see it as an attack. They'll go on the defense. Oh, you messing with somebody? Oh, you do this and that. Now, when you secure, you realize, like, okay, for one, this is this person's body. I have no control, and so forth. So when you think about that, think about how many people who probably have got forced or being into something, their spirit unwanted, don't even want to do it, but they engage anyway. I tell people all the time, that's like spiritual grape. Like, you know you don't want to do something and you do it anyway. That's like, and then people turn around and turn it off on the other person, but your body is already telling you. So now you in confusion, and now you're trying to make sense of what just happened. Your body was already signaling to you. Your spirit was already telling you.
Not this person. Not this individual. Not this person. How many times you gotta keep telling you? How many times your body gonna keep telling you? It's just like somebody go and cheat and stuff. They be dealing with lust, bro. They be dealing with a spirit. And some people don't know how to discipline. They don't want to. When you think about the culture people grew up in, they don't want to. They don't want to. They don't care to. They don't want to. They don't care to. So yeah, people don't think about that. Like, why this person doing it? They don't want to. They don't have to. That should tell you a lot right there. They don't want to. They don't have to. And you still trying to make them. They dealing with something that's bigger than you. A lot of us just don't want to accept that though, but it's real. And I've been there. You know, when you don't know how to control yourself. That's how I be looking like when I see people who prostitute. It's like they don't know nothing else. They do, but they don't want to. Like, in their mind, they feel like that's all there is to their experience. Like, I walked by one earlier. I was like, I can feel the spirit, but at the same time, I can sense the compassion because there's still a little girl in there, and you don't know what people have been open to, what they're trying to fight through, and they've been so far gone they actually think that this is their life. This is all there is. They've gotten so far. And that's the only thing about when you hear people say people been in the dark, that's what that is. They consumed by the shadows, the darkness. That's all that is. They just got consumed by the shadows. And people get there, they don't think they can come out. But I'm living proof. Because I would say, I did that with my body. It may not be on the street or something like that, but when you think about how you just giving up your body to stay in relationships, to do this, how women stay in certain things for the kids, men do the same thing for the kids. You know, it's so many different things around it, but they don't realize the underlying from it all is that you still fighting with a spirit. Somebody in there, somebody's still running from themselves. Somebody's still running from themselves. this video. I'm like, man, I don't know if I can listen to this. This nigga banging. But I'm giving y'all some real. Sometimes the message gotta be like that. You got the message though. Spread and go ride it. But I don't even know how long I've been on this video, but real talk, man, like a lot of us as cycle breakers, these things come to our awareness for a reason because nobody else gonna do it. So when you overcoming spiritual warfare and you building on something, you overcoming that which played or attacked your lineage and so forth. That shit ain't, that's spiritual warfare. When I look at a lot of people in my family, how they didn't progress, bro, it's spiritual warfare. The women and men fighting it. Perversion, a lot of shit. A lot of people fighting a lot of shit. They don't talk about it, but they are. They can't fool me. I'm just able to see it more clearly. That's all. I'm able to see it more clearly, then I'm able to recognize it, because think about how people protect predators and stuff. That's a lustful spirit. You protecting a predator. That's a lustful spirit, because you don't have the courage. Because think about when people do get disciplined in the physical, y'all got to realize, like, when certain things happen where someone ends up in jail or certain things happen from that, even the people who think they get away with it and don't end up getting time, you know, we know stuff like that. You can't outrun karma or energy. That's what I'm talking about. You can't outrun a lot of things. You can think you can. But I've noticed on my journey that a lot of things that I face, I encountered a lot of people that were facing similar things, that try their best to overcome it, or a lot of their lessons they try to overcome was through a lot of it had to do with the spirit of lust, or they were exposed to stuff. So a lot of their behaviors, you know, that's why you see a lot of people act the way they do with certain stuff. Like, it'd be weird, awkward behavior. And you be wondering why this person acting like this. Bro, you don't know what's on them. You don't know what they've been through. They don't think that their behavior is okay. I've seen that shit before. Like, people who really have went through some shit, they don't actually think that what they doing is okay. Like, that shit is crazy. Because nobody ever set them down. So when you see a lot of these adults and a lot of people, it's just like growing up in an abusive home. And then it's just like people out here trying to act tough and gangster. They actually think what they're doing is cool. So when you start seeing this shit on a deeper spiritual level, it wouldn't surprise you why people act the way they do. It's a deeper level to it. That's a lot of it's deeper. And people in my family tell me about shit people close to them did. I start finding out more and more and more. So then when you create your own family and you start recognizing, then there's your responsibility. Because your reward is overcoming it, but the responsibility in protecting yourself. Not just from people, but from everybody. From protecting yourself more spiritually. There's so many different things. Being mindful. So many different things. What I mean is, there's so many people. I was talking about this in my other video. It's people I don't even just see it physical. It's people I wouldn't even want my kids around spiritually. I mean, physically, because of the spiritual shit they have attached to them. That's just real. Not at all. Because if it was meant, they would be. But that's the thing about how many people are afraid and they make excuses. We see a lot of them stay around. That trauma bond, unrequited love, all types of shit, unhealthy attachments. Because what life will force you to do, once you recognize survival in the root chakra and trauma bonding and shit, it's most likely 99% is going to have the same result. It's going to be something chaotic. It's going to end in some type of destruction. Somebody's going to show something. Or if someone's not trying to heal in that shit, if you're the black sheep and stuff like that, if someone's not trying to change something, the same results are going to happen. It don't matter how you twist and turn it. how much money you throw over it, how much money you give it, how much shit you color it, whatever it is, it don't matter how much you try to do. You can see it because it's still the same foundations. When I see people, I be like, bro, it'll make me believe. It'll make one believe the illusion of, man, I gotta go back to what's prepared. No, the fuck you don't. You don't. Because on that other side of things, you'll see, man, you know what? I may not have the similar things what they have, but just because they have certain things materialistically, I'm not corrupted like I used to be with them, being amongst them. I'm not in that shit no more. I can smell it now, and it's clear. I'm not in that no more, and I'm not trying to be, because I see how much peaceful it is over here. I see how much stuff that I didn't want to see, but I'm getting clarity of. Oh, I see why I'm not hanging around this person no more. Oh, I see why this and this. Oh, okay. This makes a lot of sense now. I see why Divine was like, I don't want you around that person. It's something I see that you don't. Because, you know what ends up happening? Think about weirdos and people who are unaware or don't even come into it. Well, it's people in the spiritual community too. Like, people use their gifts and inadvertently, like, to even abuse them. So it's like they have knowledge of stuff and they still fuck over people or try to. Man, somebody keeps telling you, hey, bro, that's messed up. Why you doing that? But you still continue to do it. You don't want to make no type of change. Again, protecting the predator or protecting certain people who abuse their power, you are no better. Even for my own situations, certain things, had I not got away, had this person not walked away, it was going to repeat. Even if you're in a dynamic with kids, sometimes you got to be the one, the mature one, to be like, listen, you got to make a solid exit. Because sometimes you can be dealing with a narcissist or someone who's been in, like, who grew up in that power struggle and so forth. Sometimes you got to make the bigger and better decision that some people they're not ready. And for some people, it'd be painful because it don't have to be painful, but that's the karmic lessons and stuff. You would think it has to be painful. It doesn't have to be painful. You just realize, like, okay, this don't no longer serve me. I got to build towards something else. And discipline comes with that. And one of the biggest things for me, again, restraining from sex. Like I said before, I had to recognize the spirit. I was like, okay, something's keeping me from, I have to put my energy towards, like, I'm literally, my paintings are right here. Some of them that are literally finna go and be shipped out. But the fact of, like, I'm literally realizing how much, I can show you. Shit, it's wild because it's beautiful. Especially the one I just finished. This is discipline, bro. That's discipline. This is discipline. That's discipline. That's growth. That's discipline. Even when, oh man, I don't knock something off. I gotta fix that. It's cool though. I gotta remind myself to fix that. I think we got to do it now. But yeah. And even with that, you still outgrow people. Even when you're in relationships, it's like sometimes you're there to mirror to them too. Like, you know what? You can be upset right now and whatever it is, but I don't, that's something else I want to build towards. And that'll reveal who's for you. Or that'll also reveal what they're battling with that has nothing to do with you. That's why some people can want a child and somebody don't want a child at that moment, or just discipline in the fact of, like, everyone, they have free will. Where is that container? I need that glue. Oh, there you go. Oh, yeah, perfect. But that was one of the biggest things that, again, in a lot of my relationships that I ignored the most. I realized how much, even how stuff was repeat. And then I told y'all before, even in having sex, how powerful it is, because it's universal. you are engaging with someone spiritually, mentally, and so forth. So a lot of people are going to be able to tap in or see things that you don't see because that's how sacred the energy is. A lot of people don't know that. Is it some glue in here? A lot of people don't know the significance of that. Like I said, I picked up on that a while back with somebody I knew. Because they were gifted. You got to think about people. Some people are in tune. They know what's going on. And some of them are on your path to either derail you or empower you or encourage you. That was one of my biggest things too, is being in something that was supportive towards, like if you have a vision, it's glue in here. Don't tell me it dried. Oh my gosh. That's glue right there. Is it dry? This motherfucker might be hard as a rock. Oh no, that's glue. Why they ain't coming? Ooh, it's like, yeah. Gorilla glue. But yeah, it's some and that's the thing about learning things as you deeper, getting more awareness of yourself, to realize like who's really here to hinder my shit? Who's really here to hinder? Because a lot of people are there to hinder, especially when you're expanding. And I realized, like for me, again, when I didn't want to see stuff, it pertained to a lot of things sexually because I didn't have discipline. Now, had I been more focused on my goal, which I am now, more disciplined with a lot of things, then I wouldn't have to be tripping about, well, is this person going to stay or go? No, that's going to be revealed regardless. And then, and focusing more on myself, they can either focus more on themselves or not. That's what that revealed. That's a lot of oil in here. I'm finna take this mother for a spin. That's what a lot of stuff reveals, like when you realize like is a partnership healthy, but also with yourself. Because it starts with you first. But a lot of us not taught that, but in coming to know that, we see the importance of that. Gorilla glue, man, don't go playing. So, like I tell y'all, one of the biggest things for me, because there's a lot of responsibility would come with building. Then you start to see the healing aspect. So I realized, okay, I'm building on something that's way more bigger than me. That's gonna probably I know it is, that these messages are gonna reach other generations, encourage people to step into their power, to love themselves, to see more value. Because I realized at the time, I thought my value was in sex because I didn't know the importance of it. Being exposed to, I thought, this is more valuable. Focusing on the feeling, this is more valuable. Think about that. This is more valuable than being responsible for myself. This is more valuable. This feeling, this is more valuable. But even in that, you still gotta be responsible. Because if you just going out there, you see how shit happening now. And I'm telling you, when I went celibate, bro, it's nothing to jump back into it. Nothing to jump back into it. But at the same moment, that's the thing about balance. I realized if I wanted a certain life, there's certain things I had to be more disciplined in order for me to get it. If I want to live a certain life, like enjoy my life with my kids, expand more, travel, do certain stuff, right? Why the fuck would I sit here be trying to focus on sex? I'm not saying you can't have it and enjoy it, but it's still the discipline in the fact of like, what's more important? What's more valuable? Bringing another child into this life when you know at that moment you're not even ready mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and so forth? Do your partner understand that? You gotta think about how much discipline people really don't fucking have. They don't. Be real with you, they don't. I ain't gonna sugarcoat it. We didn't grow up in that. And then they sit there and wonder why their life is the way it is. It's not some of their fault. They never were told. And then they end up standing around the same people who cycle the same shit. I'm telling you, see it in family all the time. So when you hear about someone say cycle breaker, curse breaker,
That's what it is. It's discipline. It's so much discipline. It's so much discipline, bro. You just gotta do what you gotta do. And people will be removed. Especially when you know you have to change and set different intentions and stuff. That shit changes, bro. I'm like, bro, I don't like where I'm at, whatever it is. I got the opportunity, I got the free will to change it. No one else gonna do it for me. That person is gonna reveal, if they know how to focus on themselves, they're not gonna be concerned. When you secure, you're not concerned about what the other person doing. You're not caught up in like, you're not caught up in like, oh my gosh, that's gonna be a healthy communication most of the time. If it's spiritual, you're secure. You just know they're gonna be protected. It's a higher perspective on things. Most of the time, people don't know, like, if you have a higher purpose and you're in alignment, you're naturally protected. You're naturally. Now, think about people who still doing the same shit. Now, the divine will take you through some shit, but if you're still doing it, what do you think is the consequences from that? The possibility you're transitioning. Y'all call it death. What you think? That's the thing about how about with discipline? With people who try to come back and be in my life, I'm like, no, I'm not even there no more. I'm not even finna entertain this shit. I ain't even finna give this. What for? What? You just a distraction. You trying to sneak back in? No. For what? You don't want shit. Then if you try to come in a different way, you really don't want shit. You don't want shit. I'm out here looking at these kids who got these motors on these fucking bikes. I'm like, nigga, please. Nigga, please. Man, I'm gonna ride. Nigga, please. But yeah, it's real, bro. Folks don't be bro, like. My shit wouldn't look the way it is if I didn't discipline myself. That's just real. People just assume, nah. That shit took a lot of discipline. Discipline. If I want more structure in my life, discipline. Just like a child would learn. Discipline. It ain't gonna come overnight, but it's gonna be rewarding. Discipline. This shit is discipline. And I love it. I'm grateful because this shit is about discipline. And then in discipline, it reveals who's not disciplined. Think about when you want to achieve something financially and so forth too. A lot of that stuff take discipline. You ain't just go out and just be all willy-nilly with shit. No, discipline. Discipline. That's my spiel. I may upload this. I don't know yet. Y'all take care of yourself. Peace and blessings. Shalom.